Okay, so I've just done a video on how I'm feeling now, and what I did the day before. I got much more elevated mood, and just so that you're aware, I'm elevated mood now, and I know this because I did this in the last video and my hands are really giving off cold energy, like really cold, like all this is cold. And I say that my breathing isn't flowing well right now, and I've got physical sensations. Some of it's painful, some of it's too buzzy, some of it's yeah, my head's feeling weird. So I won't be talking about things with such eloquence as I normally do. Cheers to that. So yesterday, my crazy manic day. I've already spoken about the journey to Saint-Giron, where I started staring at things. And then I had to find a parking space, which I did, and then I walked very briskly to this bank manager's meeting, and was only a tiny bit late, and he took me in straight away, and I got out my bits of paper that I'd organised and that he needed to see, so I gave that to him. After a couple of minutes, I actually decided that I would tell him how I was feeling. I don't think at that point I'd looked at my face. I can't remember. Maybe I had. But I could tell that things were clearly not right, but I wanted to finish the meeting because it's something I'd organised, and I just wanted to get it over and done with and organise this bank account. So I thought, well, even though I'm clearly not in the right space here, I'm going to do it anyway. So I said, look, all in French, I'm not feeling well today, but I'm going to, stay here and do this anyway. So, bear with me, just understand that that's what's going on. And he was like, okay. I could tell that I was finding I couldn't give him much eye contact. Eye contact was becoming very difficult. And about twice or three times in the hour and 15 minutes that we were together, I was able to look him in the eye. But when I am manic, I would say that looking people in the eye, it's a very strange experience. It's like the whole of them, through their eyes, are entering me. And it's too much to take. Usually it makes me smile because I'm like, oh, it's just like, it's too much. It's too much information. It's like you can read the person through their eyes. You can do that in daily life even when you're not manic. You can really read people. Whether they're sad, whether they're happy, whether they're agitated. You can see it in people's eyes. And I think when you're manic, you're ultra sensitive to that kind of thing. And because there was already too much overload of sensations in my body and electrical input from all the computers and the lighting and everything in the bank, I was starting to find ways to shut down. So by not looking at him, that was a way of cutting out some of that extra information that I didn't need right there. Something else that starts shutting down is my hearing. So sometimes his voice or the buzzing in the room it's like, when you go up a mountain, your ears pop and you can't or they start blocking up when you're going up the mountain and you can't hear very well. Well, it's a bit like that, so your hearing kind of shuts down. And then there are times when it does the opposite and your hearing's like super sharp and sensitive, and there's like too much noise coming in, and like your ears are like taking on too much. Like when I was on the phone to my osteopath later that day, I had to really block one ear because the traffic was just and it was just too much. So I could really try to listen to what he was saying in the other ear on my phone. So it swaps and changes, depends on what the situation is. And I could also feel that I was kind of sitting on the edge of my chair rather than sitting back fully on the chair, and I could really feel like my lower spine felt very odd, not painful but like very odd. And then I could say that right at the base of my spine, where I was feeling the base of my spine touching the chair underneath me, that it was almost like I could describe it as a kind of white energy down there. A white, bright energy. So trying to sign my name and write the date and where I was on these contracts and stuff was not easy. And reading, you know, words on the page also look sometimes blurry or like they're not really there. So you have to really stare and really look and kind of, what am I looking at and what do I have to do next? And, you know, I check with him, what's the date again? Because I forgot what the date was, even though I'd just written it down, you know, 10 or 20 seconds previous. So that kind of thing, it's just like, it's not important. Like, what I'm thinking in my mind is not important. I'm just trying to do what I'm supposed to do physically and, you know, sign my name or whatever. Sorry if this is really boring. But this was my reality yesterday. How many minutes have you experienced? 7 minutes. Okay, I'll stop there and then I'll do another one on the next stage. Okay, see you in a minute.